question is, can you talk about herd immunity? What percentage of the population needs to be vaccinated to create herd immunity? And why does the decision to vaccinate or not vaccinate impact more than the individual family?
This is another excellent question. So, in a nutshell, herd immunity means the amount of people that have to be vaccinated in a population in order to protect those who cannot be vaccinated within a population. And the true answer for what percentage of herd immunity do you need varies with each disease. There are so many different factors for each disease. For example, measles is spread through droplet precautions, and it can last a long period of time outside of the body on surfaces, and the amount of time that it infects a person and they can shed it. That all plays into the percentage of herd immunity. So there's not one specific standard for all diseases, but most of the herd immunity percentages are very high, in the upwards of 85 to 95% of the people within a population have to be vaccinated in order to prevent those who cannot be vaccinated. So that sort of goes along with what I was talking about earlier, and people who have a choice and who do not have a choice with vaccinations. The choice to not be vaccinated is affecting people within your community or within our population that do not have a choice to be immunized. And again, we go back to children that are either too young for the immunization, or they might have a life-threatening allergy to it, or have an illness that they're being treated for and they cannot be vaccinated. And so the larger number of people that we have that are unvaccinated just because they make a choice not to is putting those children that don't have a choice more at risk.
I completely agree. This whole concept of herd immunity traces back to the whole issue of it's different by disease, how many people each individually who has the disease infects. There's actually a number that is monitored. So for every person who's a positive case, how many people do they infect? And if it's a low number, then it's easier to get that under control with relative herd immunity. If that's a pretty high number, like for every person that's infected, infects multiple other people, you can see you need a much higher level of immunity in the population. And I'm going to tell you what I used to say to patients in the exam room who sometimes were a little hesitant about getting a vaccine when trying to help them understand the purposes of getting a vaccine, even though they say, hey, I'm healthy, why does this matter to me? Does it make that big of an impact? I would say, are you comfortable then perhaps being a vector, meaning being someone who might actually transfer that infection to somebody around you who's more vulnerable? A small baby who's maybe before they started immunizations, an elderly person, somebody who's got immune issues who is vulnerable. Please know that you're not only answering for yourself if you might refuse a vaccine, you're saying that I am willing to potentially be a spreader of this to other people. So part of the purpose of herd immunity is to protect all the herd, which we are all part of. So it's not only protecting ourselves, but protecting each other. And then if we wanted to talk further, this is part of a general concept called a social contract that we have with each other. It's really an agreement that we all do things that benefit all of us, not just one of us.